it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with a layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I am using this super cute cut file. It's called the Mushrooms cut file. It's a little bit of an older release. It's not super old, but it's a bit more of an older release from Virginia. I have used one of the new release cut files in June, but I actually kind of wanted to shout out some of the older cut files that don't get as much love at the moment, and this one is adorable. So we are going to have a look at this Mushrooms cut file, and I'm just using a photo of my son who is in his travel pram, and we were actually heading to the Royal Children's Hospital for a checkup. This was his last checkup before COVID kind of really hit in Australia and things started to shut down, and we had some blood tests and we had to do a few bits and pieces, but it was good. It was just a regular checkup, and he's doing really well. And so I took this super cute photo. He's smiling, he's happy, we're outside. So does it go with mushrooms? Probably not, in the sense of, it's not about mushrooms or anything, but it's just, I thought it paired great because they were out. It was an outside photo, and yeah, it's cute and I wanted to use it. So I'm actually found this glue in my stash, and I'm kind of trying to use up some of my glues that I've had lying around for a while, and this is one of them. It's a fine tip glue from Stampin' Up. They don't actually make it anymore, I don't believe. So it was a bit clogged, so that's what I was trying to get working. It's sort of a glossy glue, and I know a lot of people use it to add like a glossy sheen to different, like to coloured in bits of stamping and things like that. But I just need to get it used up. I didn't love this glue, so I am using it in my general scrapbooking, and I'm wanting to use up a few of my adhesives that I have lying around and streamline that part of my collection, and it is easier. I've only just discovered this because, oh my god, I had a light bulb moment. I don't know how I didn't think of this before, but it's much easier to line up your paper on a border when you use wet glue because you can move it around a bit if it's not quite straight. Unlike double-sided tape, with once you've stuck it down, it's stuck down. So, obviously I'm a genius right here, and I only just figured that out. So I have stuck down my border, and I'm pretty sure my son wakes up at this point. So yeah, he did. So this is actually me coming back a fair amount of time later to finish off this layout, hence the change in angle. Sorry about that. And I am using, it's Cocoa Vanilla. I think it's the More Than Words collection. I think it's one of my favourites from Cocoa Vanilla. I don't have a hell of a lot left. I mean, I've got a fair bit left because I've bought this collection a couple of times, and I don't believe they have much left on their store anymore. But I'm just playing around and not doing too much because the mushrooms are quite a focal point, obviously. The photo, always want the photo to be the focal point, but the cut file does bring a lot to the page, and so I didn't want to add too much in the way of embellishments. So I'm just layering up a few little bits and pieces. I've put a few frames on the right hand side of the photo. I'm creating a little cluster on the left of the mushrooms, and then I think I do something. Oh no, that's it. And then I create a cluster at the top left of the layout itself. And that's all that I do, just 3 little clusters. I do forget a title, but I do come back at the end. I've totally finished and I'm waving at you and I'm showing you close-ups, and then I realise I didn't put my title on. So that's kind of amusing. Anyway, as I said, this is for Confessions of a Paper Addict. Make sure you go and check out the cut file store on Etsy. There are hundreds and hundreds of cut files on that store, and very reasonably priced. And I just love Virginia's designs. She makes really like delicate cut files with quite fine lines, and I find them lovely, just lovely to work with. And also the Facebook group, the Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group, has heaps of fun stuff happening. Virginia does a challenge now, a monthly challenge, which has just started. This video is going up in June, and June is the first month that Virginia has started doing a monthly challenge, so that's super exciting. And also, she occasionally releases some free little sneaky cut files that you get to snaffle up before they get put in the shop. So I know in June she does have a couple of free cut files up. So you definitely should go and join the Facebook group to get those. They are only ever up for a limited time. And once they're gone, that they're not free anymore. You can purchase them obviously in the shop afterwards, but once they are gone from the freebies. So you definitely need to be part of that group to get those perks. And every now and again, about once a year, she does a little sneaky sale just for the Facebook group. So that's always exciting too. So all the links will be left down below. So definitely go and check out the Facebook group. And make sure you join up and come and hang out with us, because it's a super fun and inspiring place to be. And even if you don't have a cut file machine, that's okay. You can still come and participate in the group. Obviously, we share a lot of layouts with cut files, but there are lots of people that share layouts without cut files as well. So definitely come and be a part of it. And come and hang out and have scrappy fun with us, because that's what it's all about. I'm just sticking down my clusters now. There's not really much else to tell you. I did edit out some of the sticking down process because I left everything in the same position, so I figured that you didn't really need to see that. But I do add a few other little bits and pieces, so I leave that part in, popping some of them up on foam and then some of them just down flat. I am doing pretty good at my 2020 album. I'm not up to date by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm getting there. I'm keeping up to date with loading my photos and sorting my photos, just not with scrapbooking my photos. That's the story of scrapbookers' lives though, isn't it? When are we ever up to date? I am going to try and do a digital Project Life album this year with just a lot more journaling and telling a lot more stories of our family, because I think that will be a good way to record a lot more of our stories, our family stories. And I acknowledge that perhaps once I am gone, my son and any other future children we may or may not have may not really be interested in keeping my scrapbooks, and that's okay. I scrapbook for me. I enjoy looking back over them. I enjoy the creative process, and I don't mind if they're not kept once I'm gone. But I do think that he will be much more likely to keep a photo book. And so that is what I am going to trial this year and see how we go. And I might stick with that as a yearly kind of family album, just as I said, as a way to record a lot more of the stories of our family, because I think that is important, and it means that I can do the creative stuff in my scrapbook album, and I don't need to necessarily do quite as much journaling as I might normally do in a Project Lifestyle album. I was just getting a bit uninspired by doing a physical Project Life, I'll be honest. So yeah, I'm just going to trial it for this year and see how I go, and then maybe I'll bite the bullet and get rid of my Project Life cards. Whew, controversial. But we'll see if I like it. At this point in May, I haven't started the digital Project Life album, so I really should do that. But we're not quite yet. I haven't quite started yet. So that is on the to-do list. It's just that when I have time, I always want to do my physical scrapping, because it's like it's an artistic release. And particularly at the moment during COVID times, it is such a nice thing to be able to escape to. Now, here is what I told you. I'd finished my layout and I was waving and I was about to show you, and I forgot to stick the title down. I'd already picked out the title. It's the word Cherish. It's from chipboard phrases that came with this collection. I've got a few of them left and I'm just trying to use up my stash, and so I wanted to get this on a layout. Does it have anything to do with the picture? No, I do journaling on these 12x12 layouts, so I did write some journaling before I put this in my album, just talking about the fact that we went to the Royal Children's and Lynn had to have some blood tests and they came back all clear, and we don't have another appointment for 6 months. So I do a little bit of journaling on my pages now. I didn't used to, but I do now that they're the only things that I have in my album. All right, so here's the close-ups. Thank you for watching. Please check out all the links down in the description box below, and we will see you guys in our next one.